Tyres, perhaps not the sexiest things on the planet, but we really should pay them more attention, because when they burst, it can all get a bit dramatic. A staggering 700 million tyres are produced worldwide every year. Around 30 million are sold in the UK, with British motorists alone covering 498 billion kilometres a year.
Making tyres is an exercise in chemistry. They're made from vulcanised rubber, which is formed by heating a compound of three main ingredients: carbon black, sulphur and rubber, plus a few others such as some antioxidants, activators and accelerators.
And this is natural rubber in its raw state. It comes from the dried sap from the tropical rubber plants. You can also use dandelion sap, actually, to make rubber.
That's stupid. You'd need thousands of them, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I know. But how do you turn this into this?
The first step is to create the rubber compound from which the tyre will be made. The compound determines the tyre's level of wear and grip and can range between hard and soft, depending on the proportions of the ingredients added. But how does this white goo end up looking like a tyre? Well, it's all down to carbon black, good old soot to you and me, and this is what gives a tyre its distinctive colour.
I'm going to add the carbon black. This is going to turn this black. Any moment now. There it comes.
Carbon black also gives the tyre compound strength, and the more that's added, the tougher it gets. But the final ingredient is sulphur, which gives the compound elasticity. So there you have it, a big slab of black, gooey stuff.
It's quite kinky, isn't it?
I love the smell of it.
You've got some pants like this, haven't you, Rich?
All tyre compounds are vulcanised, which is a process of heating up to 175 degrees centigrade under intense pressure. The rubber begins to react with the sulphur in the mix, and the rubber molecules start to link together. This changes the compound permanently into a tough, abrasive-resistant and elastic slab of tyre rubber.
Oh, go on, give it some welly, son. Oh. Oh.
So what does all this mean at the business end? Well, here's someone who should know. World-famous stunt driver Russ Swift. For him, picking the right tyre compound allows him to do things like this.
Compound is very important. If you want a tyre to give you lots of grip instantly, you'll go for a very soft tyre. It'll heat up very quickly, but it won't last 5 minutes. If you want a tyre to last for quite a long time, you use quite a hard tyre. It won't give you the absolute grip of a soft tyre, but it'll last as long as you want.
And for driving like a complete nutter, what's the optimum tyre?
Well, tyres last me, on an average, about 3 miles, so I need a fairly hard tyre so that I can get that much out of it.
3 miles?
3 miles out of a set of tyres, yeah.
To demonstrate just how much difference there is between the grip levels of hard and soft compounds, Russ has laid out a course for the boys to drive. First, let's see how fast they can do it on the hard compound.
1, 2, 3, go.
The extra levels of carbon black in a hard compound give the tyre a good balance between grip and durability, which is why the majority of tyres fitted to our own day-to-day vehicles use a hard compound.
We're not delivering eggs, mate. Give it some welly.
It's all in second gear, mate. I'm keeping it in second, yeah?
Yeah, nicely done, mate. This is very impressive. All right, don't roll it. We are delivering eggs, OK?
It's like a go-kart.
And this is round these white ones, and in.
Yeah.
Starting point again. Whew. 49.25 seconds, that's what it is.
I'm out of breath.
Now the soft compound, more generally used in motorsports where grip is more important than durability. The boys should be able to go round quicker on these.
So, after 3,
Yep.
1, 2, 3, go. Righty-ho. How they feeling? Any more grip?
Pretty grippy. Yeah, actually, that is good.
He's actually lifting the wheel there.
I don't know, actually. I can't
Yeah,
feel a lot of
no,
difference.
definitely there. I'm putting a bit more power in on that corner.
Yeah.
Definitely, he's holding,
Yeah,
he's
we're not
holding.
skidding. You skidded there last time, didn't you?
Oh, you can hear it squeal.
Right, here you go, mate, and we will stop the time.
45.65.
That's almost 4 seconds faster.
Superb.
God, my heart is
one, mate.
beating.
I think you're a natural.
Unnatural.
It's hard to believe that the time difference has a lot to do with carbon black, good old soot. Now, tread. The tread patterns on tyres may look arbitrary, but they are the product of sophisticated design. One of the main features is noise reduction. If the blocks on the outside were square, for example, the racket inside the car would be deafening. Obviously, one of the other functions of tread is to dispel water from the road surface. And amazingly, a modern radial tyre can disperse up to 5 litres of water per second. In an hour, that would be 18,000 litres, the same amount of water 10 British fire engines carry on board. Richard and Johnny are on a mission to show what a difference the knobbly bits can make. This is Myra, a top test facility that can simulate all kinds of weather conditions on every road surface imaginable. A perfect place to test the dynamics of tread. This is the straight-line wet grip track designed to test tyre treads and compounds. The central 200-metre strip is made of basalt tiles and simulates a road surface that's like wet, slippery ice. The boys are going to test both treaded and bald tyres on the strip to demonstrate just how much difference tread makes to a car's ability to stop in the wet. First up, a treaded tyre.
That's a nice new tyre, ready to roll.
The aim is to hurtle down this slippery track at 40 miles an hour, slam on the brakes and measure the stopping distances of both sets of tyres.
OK.
I've always wanted to do this, so
Brilliant.
let's get going. You ready?
We pass your test. Right, steady 40. 40, 40, 40. We're hitting it now. OK, go.
Because the car is fitted with an anti-lock braking system, the tyres won't lock into a dramatic skid, but it will still be the tread that makes the difference.
Hey!
But you could feel the grip, couldn't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Because it was cutting in and out.
But you go a hell of a lot further than you think you're going to go. I can't wait for the slicks.
Richard and Johnny's stopping distance was 53 metres, so we marked their position before they do the test again with bald tyres.
I want to see how the tyres surfs on a wave of water.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to see how you squeal when we really lose control.
Let me show you some good driving.
See if you can scare me. And anchors.
The brakes are on, but the slicks just aren't gripping.
Oh yes, come on!
The stopping distance of the slick tyres was 124 metres. That's 71 metres further on than the tyres with tread, approximately the width of a soccer pitch. Proof positive that the knobbly bits really do make a difference.
But what about the big daddies of the tyre world?
Aircraft tyres.
Aircraft tyres are designed to carry heavy loads at high speeds in the smallest and lightest configurations practical. But this means they're subjected to enormous pressures and friction.
They're highly engineered structures. They carry weight similar to the tyres on the largest earth movers, but at the speed of a Formula One car. Pound for pound, they endure the harshest service life of any tyre made.
On takeoff, the load on aircraft tyres makes them heat up to temperatures of between 130 and 150 degrees centigrade. So how are they able to withstand this? The fundamental design difference is that both the tread and the main rubber body of the tyre, the casing as it's known, are made from a combination of specialised compounds, very different from what you'd find in a car tyre. Dunlop Aircraft Tyres in Birmingham has been designing and making aircraft tyres since 1910. They hand make tyres for all types of aircraft, from jumbos to Harrier jump jets. They carry out rigorous tests that push aircraft tyres to more than 4 times their operational safety limits. To ensure they can withstand all the stresses they might undergo, they're tested on a dynamometer that simulates taxiing, takeoff and landing conditions. But the most impressive test is when tyres are overinflated in the burst cell.
So Nick, what's the purpose of this test?
Well, this is to check the strength of the casing. This particular tyre is off a Boeing 737. It's a main wheel tyre, and it's rated to 220 PSI.
Right.
Wow.
So what we need to do, we need to get to 880 PSI, and we'll probably go beyond that. We'll probably get to around about 1,000.
And I assume we're putting air in here, are we?
No, we can't use air. We have to use water. If we used air, the volume of air that would be generated in here would cause a tremendous bang, and it would probably destroy most of the surrounding buildings.
The last time an aircraft tyre was overinflated with gas here at Dunlop was in the 1960s, and here's what's happened. It's never been done since. Overinflating aircraft tyres to more than 4 times their normal pressure is an extremely dangerous business, so Richard and Johnny have to retire to a safe distance and watch the action on a monitor. It takes nearly 10 minutes to fill the tyre to just its normal operating pressure of 220 PSI.
Gosh, the anticipation's killing me. Exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
To overinflate the tyre, the water pressure is stepped up a gear and is pumped hydraulically into the casing.
I'm not missing this moment.
No.
I'm glued to this now.
Don't look away, because you know if you do.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see this.
The pressure is building.
Nick, how are we doing on pressure?
We've reached the minimum that we require.
We've done 880, are we?
Yeah, we have, yeah. I think we're probably about 900.
We're coming up to 900.
That was it bursting.
Well, Richard may have missed it, but you won't.
Nick, what pressure were we at?
We're at 905 PSI.
905?
You'd like to go in?
Because when I turn around to you...
Wow! Look at that! Destroyed.
Yep. That's a typical burst that happens on cross-ply tyres.
By reaching over 4 times its normal operating pressure before bursting, and even then still retaining its basic form, this type of aircraft tyre has proved that it has the strength and integrity to cope with extreme situations. Very reassuring in the event of an emergency landing.
Is there any way we can fill one with custard?
Oh, that would be a good idea, yes.